important point I will emphasize is that Shinran Shonin went through these 4 types of Buddhism, and he was so happy, that he discovered the larger sutra and understood the meaning of Amida Buddha and the Pure Land. Okay. All of us have been studying the same ideas, and I think we can identify with Shinran Shonin. See, ideas like Amida Buddha and Pure Land are very, very difficult to understand. Okay. So it was not until Shinran Shonin read the larger sutra that he understood the meaning of the larger sutra. And actually, in Shinran's life, his meeting with Honen Shonin was the most important experience. So the Shinran Shonin read the larger sutra, and he was so happy because these 9 lines that we are going to study, okay, the so-called fulfillment of the 3 vows. Shinran thought, oh, these 9 lines are talking about what happened to me when I met Honen Shonin. In my meeting with Honen Shonin, 3 vows. Dharmakara means 48 vows, but 3 vows are called the most important vows. Shinran called 3 vows, 17, 18, 11, the 3 selected vows, or 3 primal vows. Okay? In Shinran's teaching, the vow about this, Kyogyo Shinsho. Okay? And this vow, 70th vow, is a gyo, realization of this gyo. Okay? 17th vow. It's a namandabutsu. Gyo means namandabutsu. Okay? Namandabutsu is realized. And Shinjin is realized. And so, these Kyogyo Shinsho, these 4 are realized, see, in my life when I met Honen Shonin. So the Shinran's teaching is very concrete, see, very big. Every concept or every teaching he talks about is based upon his own experience. See? That is very different from other teachers. Teachers talk about all kinds of ideas, concepts, but that does not mean those ideas are truly experienced or digested in their own lives. But in Shinran's teaching, I'm surprised. Shinran is so kind of experiential. He's talking about things he actually experienced. As I said, these 9 lines, these are the core of Shinran's teaching, and all he's writing the commentary on these 9 lines. Okay? And he talks about the fulfillment of 3 vows, 17, 18, 11. He called these 3 vows the 3 primal vows, or 3 selected vows. Okay? Honen Shonin, so the 18th vow alone is important, but Shinran's case, these 3 vows, and these 9 lines talk about fulfillment. See, for all of us, these concepts are such foreign concepts, kind of abstract doctrinal concept. But for Shinran too, originally these are all abstract concepts, vow, name, on the Shinjin, realization. But Shinran actually met his teacher, and his life was changed. Okay? Shinran wanted to know what happened to me. What was Honen? What did he represent? What happened to me? And what is this new life I started to have? He wanted to know the kind of explanation. See? He wanted to be kind of universal implication of his own experience. And when he read these 9 lines, wow, this is explaining what happened to me, explaining what Honen is, what Shinjin is, my awakening is, and the new life I have explained here. See? So that's the way Shinran read the scripture. That's what we have to learn, okay? Whenever we read the sutras, if we read like novels or newspaper, some kind of object of academics or something, because the way Shinran read, he is really, try to understand his own life experience in these scriptures. See? So that's the discovery of this 9-line passage was tremendously so he. Well, this is universal. This is the way all human beings are liberated. I was, my meeting with Honen is explained here, but this is my personal experience. But this explains how all humanity is liberated. See? So eventually what China wants to say is, this is the basis. See? We use our human knowledge, human wisdom, common sense wisdom to understand Buddhism. Then we have these kind of all types of Buddhism, Zen, Shingon, Nichiren, or Jodoshu teachings. See? But many people are happy with these teachings, but Shinran wasn't happy. See? Then he eventually got there. And he said, oh, this Shin Buddhism, Shinshu, true Buddhism. Shinshu means true Buddhism. This is what the Honen Shonin wanted to say. This is what Shakyamuni Buddha wanted to say. If there's a core of Buddhism, authentic Buddhism, this is it. See? The meeting with a person or meeting with the Dharma, one's life is totally changed. So the Kyogyo Shinsho is not only the name of his own writing. This for Shinran Shonin, Kyogyo Shinsho explains in a universal way all humanity are going to be liberated. See? So that's why he wrote this book, Kyogyo Shinsho. So that he had a conviction that all humanity is going to be liberated. So if there's a basic pattern for human liberation in Buddhism, this is it. See? That's what Shinran wants to say. And I believe that's right. I met my teacher and my life was changed. I was not interested in Buddhism until I was 22. See? I met my teacher kind of accidentally. I was interested in reading a book on Western literature. My teacher has a commentary in the house. So I bought the book and read it. But my teacher was actually a Jodo Shinshu follower. Okay. And he was talking about Nembutsu. By reading that, I was so surprised. The first time I was moved by Buddhist teaching. Since then, I was 22. Since then, my life changed. I been studying Buddhism. So I can identify with Shinran Shonin. This is a kind of universal pattern. If there's some kind of core pattern of so-called Buddhist awakening experience, this must be. This must be. So I think it's very important. We study this kind of the academic object of academic studies. Initially we do that, but I believe if there's going to be Buddhist awakening experience in your lives, this is it. See? This is a universal pattern for it. Shinran believed in it. That's why he wrote this book. See? I'm really grateful for Shinran for writing Kyogyo Shinsho. It's a profound text, very experiential text. Okay? But anyway, Shinran's ideas, all ideas come from these 9 lines. Okay? And this is the kind of academic text, so not easy to understand. And as I told you, all Jodo Shinshu majors in the universities, they memorize this. First thing they memorize this. And they spend 4 years studying this passage. But today we are going to study this passage in 20 minutes. Very ambitious. But I don't expect you to understand everything said here. It's lots of stuff in it. But see, what I want you to remember is this is a core of the Jodo Shinshu experience. And 3 points, okay? 3 points. The 17th verse, non doubts, and the 18th verse. Hearing it, hearing number. Then starting such a wonderful life. That's fulfillment of the 11th verse. Okay? These 3 things Shinran was to say. So anyway, first the 17th verse, okay? Fulfillment of 17th verse. Okay? The text says, all Buddha Tathagatas throughout the 10 quarters, countless as sands of the Ganges. Okay, so this is the kind of symbolic way of talking about it. There are many Buddhas, as many as the sand grains of Ganges River. See? Then what are these Buddhas? What are these limitless number of Buddhas? Then these are referring to historical teachers, like Shakyamuni. Okay? The scripture says, and what are they doing? They are praising the inconceivable and majestic virtues of the Amida Buddha. Buddha of the measure of life is Amida Buddha. Okay? So all these historical teachers are praising the Amida's virtues. Okay? Amida has many virtues, but most important virtues of Amida is wisdom. Okay? Wisdom. That is implied here. Okay? The information in parentheses are provided by me. Okay? The original text does not have this information in the square bracket. Okay? So, but this is the 17th verse. 17th verse is talking about the realization of historical teachers. See? This is Shinda. This is the Honen. See? Historical teachers were there in front of Shinda. Now, who is representing 7 patriarchs? Or representing Shakyamuni too? See? This is the realization of 17th verse is realization of the historical teachers and their words. Without Shakyamuni, without 7 patriarchs, without their teaching, nothing happens. See? That is Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar is Namandavas. Namandavas and these teachers and their words are synonymous. See? Namandavas is a calling voice, calling us to take refuge in Buddha's wisdom. See? That's realized in history. That's fulfillment of the 17th verse. Okay? Even if these teachers and their words are fulfilled, nothing happens to us. See? Nothing is realized. See? Even if there's a wonderful medicine, cure medicine, see? If nobody takes it, nothing happens. See? Just stored in the storage, pharmacy, wonderful cure medicine, wonderful dharma, nobody takes it, nothing happens. Somebody has to take it. Then this medicine works as medicine, cure sickness. See? So the realization of sickness, medicine alone is not good enough. Then realization of taking medicine. See? Wonderful teaching, preach. Somebody has to hear it and understand it. This has to be realized. This was actually realized in Shinda. This was actually realized in 7 patriarchs. Shakyamuni was once this way. See? Nagarjuna and all these teachers were this way. They had their own teachers, see? Now teachers, see? And now you see, the Honen's teacher was Zen here, see? Historically, this continuation, teacher, student become teacher, and student become teacher, see? This, and Honen and Shinda. And this continued endless times, and we have this whole tradition. I met my teacher, see? And see, this is the pattern and being continued. Somebody has to hear it. See? Medicine is just chemical until it is taken by the patient. Then it's medicine, taking medicine helps recover. How to life realize? See? That's what the Buddhism is all about. And so that's what this section. See, 70th vow is realized, but something must happen to this person. Us, patient. Okay? So that is the next paragraph. Okay? When all sentient beings, these refer to Shinra Shoni, recipient or the student, or to us. Okay? All sentient beings, see, must hear the name, receive this medicine. Okay? Here's a name that is being praised by, see? So the 70th vow, the first sentence is realization, fulfillment of 70th vow means realization of Namandavata. See? Namandavata. Yo means Namandavata. See? So non-doubt is realized, and somebody heard this. That is all such beings. When all such beings hear the name, that is being praised by all Buddhas in Tekotas, they in Shinran, Seven Patriarchs, or ourselves, experience flashlight. Flashlight, that is one thought moment. For Shinji. Shinji is like a sudden awakening. Flashlight, one thought moment of awakening, Shinji. And this scripture says, Shinji is accompanied with joy. Sure, you are born in such a wonderful world of Buddha's wisdom, world of limitless light. Your darkness is wiped away. What you consider wisdom here is darkness, actually. This darkness, human ignorance. Even you thinking human wisdom is brightness, but actually by encountering limitless light, our light is turned into darkness. Totally negated. So we are going into a new world. That is this one flashlight awakening experience. And Shinji. This is the most important thing. Shinji. Then Shinra says the name that includes virtues such as wisdom. Name is given to us. The teacher. Amida Buddha is a symbol for this tradition. Amida Buddha and many Buddhas are synonymous. All same thing. Desire, aspiration to liberate us. So the name is the core of the compassion for our teachers. They all desire to give this name, message to us. By this name alone wants to liberate us. So name is something given to us. So that he says, the name that includes virtues such as wisdom is given to us. They directed them by Amida's sincere mind. So that's what that arrow means. We are just passing. We just receive it. By hearing, we receive Buddha's wisdom. That alone liberates us from attachment to human wisdom. It is the human wisdom that made us create this kind of Buddhism. Dualistically construed. We are being liberated. So Shinran will say this is the provisional Buddhism, and we are not quite liberated from our basis of our delusion. This is a delusion. Being attached to self-power, we are overestimating our own abilities. Human wisdom cannot liberate us. True liberation is a liberation from our own wisdom of attachment. Buddha's wisdom can alone liberate us. Inconceivably. So this is the process. That's why Shinran says, the name is given to us. We cannot create this name. Tradition or teachers are given to us. They are coming from us. So then aspiring to be born in the pure. Well, then we have this aspiration. I aspire to be born in pure. Then if you have this aspiration, then this arising of aspiration itself is a birth in the pure land. That's what Shinran Shonin says. So, aspiring to be born in the pure land, as soon as this aspiration awakens, they are immediately, in here and now, that this is the textual basis for Shinran's view of birth. This doesn't talk about birth in pure land after death. Shinran's textual basis is this passage. This says, when aspiration arises, something new awareness, aspire, aspiration. This aspiration is Shinji. This aspiration is wisdom. So you are already, as soon as you have this aspiration, you are already born in the world of Buddhahood. World of Buddhahood is a world of aspiration. Shinran defines Pure Land as a world of Buddha's aspiration. If you have this aspiration awakened in you, you are being born in the world of aspiration. Pure Land is Buddha's aspiration land. Aspiration for wisdom aspiration for compassion. See? It's not that you have aspiration and later you attain what. No. As soon as you have aspiration and sincere aspiration and see here, this power shakes this and saying that this is a big boat heading this way, small boat heading this way. Same boat is awakened. This is not called this the same Buddha quality. See, this is big, but this is small. But Shinran called this Shinjin is Buddha nature. See? This aspiration, see? Awaken to resonate. This is aspiration. See? This is aspiration. This is a Shinjin. This is a Shinjin. See? Awakening of this is a birth in this world of aspiration or wisdom. See? That's why Shinran says arising of Shinjin is arising of aspiration. Arising of Shinjin is arising of Buddha's wisdom within us. This is itself our liberation. See? This is birth in Pure Land. Okay? As I said, this is the old self, dies. New self born. This self is born. Okay? This is a birth. See? That's what Shinran, textual basis of Shinran's view of birth is here. Okay? Aspiration is born. Shinji is born. Okay? This is birth. See? These are totally different. This is the birth, and you have to wait until you die. Okay? Nothing good or happy or joyful happens here in this life. Starts from the happy life, the meaningful life begins after we die. This is Jodo-shuki. But Shinran says, here and now, Shinjin moment, the aspiration moment, is this crucial. You have it, and this itself becomes Buddhahood, fulfilled. When we die, that's a full stop. Nothing remains to be done. This is Dharmakara. Hozo is born in us. Shinjin is Dharmakara's mind. Dharmakara's aspiration is born in. And this leads our life. And so this, when we die, Amida Buddha becomes Amida Buddha. We become Amida Buddha. This is a fulfillment of Buddha. When we die, this dying, physical death is a completion point. This is what Shinran Shonin talk about. Okay? This is what Shakyamuni Buddha talked about. Our death should be the full stop. We shouldn't have anything to be hoped for after we die. Okay? But these people look for something after death. That's a human wisdom. See? As I repeat myself, if we use human wisdom, we are happy with present self. We are happy with this defined present world. So, I deserve a better world than this. I deserve a better self than this. See, using human wisdom, we always hate minusly. Love pluses and look for some wonderful pluses in the future or in the world after, based on human wisdom. Okay? That's a definition of a deluded way of living, samsaric way of living. Okay? But Buddhism is there for us to be liberated from this attachment, human dualistic thinking. Okay? But here, see, this is Dharmakara spirit, Shinjin spirit, aspiration spirit. See, in this, that we don't have to run away from minuses. See, all Buddha's wisdom transforms the negatives into pluses. See, new meanings are given to us. Okay? So, but anyway, so that powerful life, this powerful life, that is the fulfillment of the 11th birth. That is this aspiring to be born in the Pure Land. They immediately, here now attain birth in Pure Land. That's what the Rajya Sutra said. Here, immediately, here now. Then the person starts to have such a powerful life. That is dwell in the stage of non-retrogression. Non-retrogression means no more going back to the old lifestyle. See? The here and now people, uniqueness of Shinran is, Shinran talks about life of non-retrogression, realized here and now. See? So birth in Pure Land and realization of the powerful light of non-retrogression, that's synonymous. That's realized here and now. See? That's why Shinran's light is so powerful and creative. But here, stage of non-retrogression is realized after we die. Here, in the birth and Pure Land is after death. The realization of non-retrogression is after death here. But Shinran is here, immediately. See? This is the textual basis of the Shinran Shonin. And so here, you can see, this is the kind of sutra, scripture talks about it. But when Shinran read it, see? Oh, this is explained. 17th wa Honen Shonin is realized. Name is realized. I met members. I heard the members. See? Oh, I already heard. See? I heard it. Shinji, new life began. Powerful life began. See? Shinran. This is the textual basis for it. See? I said, all his views about Amida Buddha and Shinjin and his powerful life, see? Kyogyo Shinsho, see? Come from this passage. See? And then in the lower part of page 2, terms referring to the Dharma that liberates people. Then I explained, okay, basically 3 things refer to the Dharma. Dharma means this is Dharma. Okay? Dharma. This Dharma means the side that liberates us. That the human, this Shinjin belongs our side. See, like Dharma side, that like hospital, doctor, nurses. Okay, this is the patient. See, like a medicine. See, so 3 terms refer. Amida Buddha. See, Amida Buddha. Then what is Amida Buddha? See, Amida Buddha. I here. This Amitabha, limitless light. It's a symbol of the Buddha's wisdom. Okay? Shinran says, light is wisdom. Amida, see, it's not a person. See? It's a symbol, personal symbol for the wisdom. See? So that in order to emphasize the importance of the wisdom, wisdom liberates. See? In order to emphasize the importance of wisdom, this literary device, see, symbol of Amida is used. See? Amida is not the reality. It's a symbol. Okay? Wisdom is reality. Okay? But here, Amida is reality. See? Personal savior, just like God. Okay? That's the difference between Amida here and here is tremendous. Okay? Amida is not a person. See? It's a symbol, personal symbol. Emphasize the importance of wisdom. Wisdom is real here. But the person is real here. See? Same thing about Pure Land too. See? Pure Land is actual place. See? Here. But Pure Land is a symbol for the world of wisdom. That's where we are born into. See? Nembutsu is the world of wisdom. We are born into the world of Nembutsu. See? We don't have to wait until we die to realize that. See? But anyway, Buddha's wisdom is the wisdom of oneness, non-dualistic wisdom to transcend transform the negative into the positive. That finds meaning not only in the positive but also in the negative. It is diametrically opposed to human wisdom, dualistic wisdom, that finds meaning only in the positive. Okay? So, Pure Land is a symbol of the sphere of Buddha's wisdom. Okay? And so that's the meaning of Amida Buddha. Okay? Then what is the meaning of Namandabutsu? Okay? Namandabutsu is called the name. Okay? Name means Namu Amidabutsu. Okay? Then Shinran Shonin says Namandabutsu is an imperative sentence. Okay? Namandabutsu is not just saying, I take refuge in Amidabutsu. No. Some, BC texts explain Namandabutsu as, I take refuge in Amidabutsu. No. Shinran says it's a command. It's a voice coming from the Buddhas. our teachers are saying Namandavas. Okay? It's a imperative sentence, okay? With exclamation mark at the end of it. See? So the meaning is take refuge in Buddha's wisdom. See? Teacher is saying, telling us. Historical teachers are saying Namandavas. Okay? So that is very important, okay? So the come to Buddha's wisdom. That's what it means, Namandavas. So it is something we have to hear, okay? So it doesn't mean we shouldn't say Namandavas or something. We could say, it's important we say it, but it's not for the sake of saying it. See? If I say Namandavas, see, I can hear it. See? It's not the saying that liberates us. It is hearing it, hearing its meaning that liberates us. See? So my saying is all right, important, but saying it doesn't liberate us. Okay? Here, saying liberates. Okay? But here, if I say Naman, I can hear it, understand it mean. Hearing liberates us. This is the hearing. Hearing and understanding. This is the most important part of it. Okay? Saying is important as condition, not the cause of liberation. Okay? If somebody says, you can hear it and understand. Okay? Hearing and understanding is a direct cause of liberation. Okay? Here, people don't talk about hearing and understanding. So say, stand it, Naman. So here, saying it is the cause of liberation. Practice is action is a cause of, but here it's not the action. See? It's hearing and understanding. See? Understanding the meaning of Buddha's wisdom, then we understand the mistake we are making. See? That then we make this transition. Basis changes. See? From third power to other power, from human wisdom to Buddha's wisdom. Then we were born into the world, new world. See? That's what Shinra has done. That's a changing spirit. Okay? Nenbutsu is a Dharma. They coming to us as our teacher's voice, challenging voice. Okay? Recognize your mistake when you make it. Attachment to your wisdom, it doesn't liberate you. See? Come to Buddha's wisdom. Listen to the Buddha's words and awaken you to the mistake. See? And we appreciate Buddha's wisdom. See? Buddha's wisdom liberates, not doubt liberates. See? That's the very important part of it. See, Shinra says the name is a verbalization of voiceless voice of the ultimate truth. It is a command, a calling voice, an expression of the inner aspiration of all Buddhas are. See, all Buddhas are saying Namandavas, and they have deep desire, kind of compassion. Please recognize mistake. See, and take refuge in Buddha's wisdom. Okay, that's what is take. But this, Namandavas just, Namandavas calling voice doesn't make sense. It has to be the historical teacher. That's what I said. Top of page 3. Okay, top of page 3. And Shinran says that. Okay, so the fulfillment of 70th vow means not only the realization of the Namandavas. See? Specifically, it should be the realization of existences of historical teachers and their words. The concrete manifestation of the name is historical teachers and their words. See, for Shinran, Honen was Namandavas. Honen's words was Namandavas. See, so that's very important. Okay, so this is the uniqueness of Shinran's teaching is very concrete. See, but here. See, Amida-san calls us, Amida-san saves us. See, sounds like some kind of divine savior coming. But Shinra is very specific. Amida is a concept, a symbol. Actual contents of Amidahood, Buddhahood is our historical teachers. See, our historical teachers, they are Amida Buddha. Their words are Amida, the word calling voice. See, that's how way Shinra explains it. very specific. Nothing mysterious about Shinran's teaching. So anyway, here I said these are the concrete historical manifestation of Amida Buddha or come to Buddhism. Okay? So that is a realization of the 17th vow. See? Okay? And next one, number 2 here on page 3 is people's encounter with Dharma. This is the Shinji. See, as I explained. Okay, medicine is not medicine until it is taken. See, so the Naman Dabs doesn't have any power to work until we hear it. See, the person who actually needs a teacher and hear the Naman Dabs, the challenging voice from the teacher. See, the person who hears it receives this tremendous power. Then experience awakening. This is called Shinjin. Okay, that I explained here. When a person meets a teacher and hears the name said by the teacher and understand its meaning, experience a deep awakening experience called Shinjin. So hearing and understanding. Okay? So the Shinran Shonin or all our Jodo Shinshu teachers tell us you don't have to take up any practices like meditation or keeping precept, just hearing alone. Okay? It's a deep teaching we are being exposed. Okay? You must hear continuously. Whether you understand it or not, it doesn't matter. Buddha's teaching is very profound. Our human wisdom cannot fathom the depth of Buddha's wisdom. Dualistic human wisdom cannot understand Buddha's inconceivable, non-dualistic wisdom. It is only keep listening and listening that eventually Buddha's wisdom reaches us. See? Buddha's words are very powerful, and if you keep on hearing it, like a fish, like a salmon being exposed to smoke. Smoke transforms the salmon. Salmon doesn't know whether it is being smoked, but being exposed to the smoke, something salmon receives from outside. See? Keep listening and listen. Teacher's words, Namandava's voice we receive from the teacher. That transforms us. Buddha's wisdom gradually permeates us without our knowing. See? Hearing is the only process that to realize this strength. That's what Shinran Shonin, all our Shin teachers tell us. Okay? That's what, and the middle of page 3, Shinran says that the student must meet with a historical teacher to embody the name or the Buddha's wisdom. Shinran said, without Hoden, see, I would never have the Shinji experience. Shinran says, without having met with Hoden Shonin, all my life would have been spent in vain. Okay? Wasted. My life has been wasted. So there are many wonderful teachers, members teachers. By the way, these do not have to be Buddhist teachers. Okay? It's a universal teaching. So the many great teachers, in all kinds of religions and all kinds, even in the world of literature, arts, many great teachers. So you keep listening to the words of these awakened people. Okay? Only that enables us. But you must keep hearing the word. Okay? So next one is for Shinran, experiencing this through hearing the name is synonymous with attaining. See? This hearing awakening synonymous with birth in the Pure Land, death of the old self, and this Pure Shinsha. Okay? And number 3, I don't have much time, but basically here, number 3, Shinjin person embarks on a new life that is assured of attaining Nirvana. So at the moment of physical death, everything is fulfilled. Okay? This realization, this fulfilled. See, this Parinirvana called complete end, perfect peace, or the highest Buddha. See? The moment of death is a completion point. See? That's the theme I wanted to emphasize at the beginning of my lecture today. Okay? The fulfillment of human life. See? That is a goal in Buddhism. That's called parinirvana. Okay? That means becoming a Buddha sounds very esoteric. We are telling Buddha, we become. What does it mean? What does it mean? See? Specifically, Shinra would say, we fulfill human life. See? That's what becoming a Buddha means. See? Parinirvana and becoming Buddha are synonyms. Then what is parinirvana? Pari means perfect. Nirvana means combustion or extinction. Perfect extinction, perfect combustion. See? Isn't that what we want to realize in our life? We want to finish our life with a full stop. Okay? We want to feel we have met something we have to meet. We want to feel that we have met and heard something we must hear. See? That's fulfillment of human life. How is it to be born as human? See? How is it to hear the Dharma? We have heard it. See? That is a fulfillment of human life. Okay? So that is called becoming Buddha. See? Nothing esoteric. Okay? That's what the Buddhism teaches. And actually, I provided all kinds of passages explaining this aspect, because this is what Shinra Shonin talks about. Powerful life of the Shinjin person. We're starting from page 5. We don't have time to go over it, but these are the passages Shinran have explaining how powerful this Shinjin person's life is. See? First impermanence is realized here, and eventually, see, this Shinjin person's life ends with a complete full stop. See? It's not like karma. See? These people's lives end with kind of karma, half ending. See? That's not the full stop. But this person's life is fulfilled because all the negative things, see? These people can feel appreciation of all the negative things. See? So these are all negative things. Negative things these people wanted to eliminate. Yeah, this Shinjin person, I can accept all these negative things, and he can see all these negative things as indispensable conditions. See? He can see all negative things as indispensable conditions for the fulfillment of human life. See? All the things I had, difficulties, shortcomings, failures, mistakes, but they are all, see, contributing to the fulfillment of my human life. See? Then you can have this fulfillment, full stop, at the end of human life. See? Without having this, without the wisdom, how can you have that kind of realization? See? If you still maintain human wisdom, certainly you have grudges. Oh, I hate it. Why did that happen to my life? See, I want another life. See, better life than this. See, that's it. The way we end our life. See, if we keep on maintaining human wisdom, we cannot fulfillment of human life, because human life can make us appreciate only the classics, and we hate the negative things. See, so the last thing I want you to do is please look at this, diagram. Okay, diagram. The last. Maybe some of you must be wondering why, in the last fourth diagram, crosses are circle. Okay, you find these crosses, okay, x's in the middle of this circle. Okay? In the first three types of teaching, you see this circles and crosses are separated. See? See, you see first three diagram. See, so as you practice, you have less crosses. See, blind persons and more circles. Okay, so that is the whole purpose of studying in Buddhism here. See, practice enables you to get away from crosses. See, blind persons, and get closer to the purity. See, using human wisdom, you hate crosses, minuses, and love circles, classes. Okay, but look at the fourth one. Okay, fourth one. You don't have to run away from crosses. Why? Because see, Buddha's wisdom coming from this way. Okay? Buddha's wisdom. Namandaus. We hear it, we receive this Buddha's wisdom, we appreciate this, become one with Buddha's wisdom. Then see, these crosses start to have the positive meanings. See? You don't have to run away. So that's what I said. Here now. See? Here now. You don't have to seek another world. Pure world, see? And wonderful world that is away from here. See? But these three types of people, they hate crosses. They want to go away from them. See? That's the nature of human wisdom. Isn't that the way we usually think? But with Buddha's wisdom, you don't have to, because see, we have blind persons in fact, but see, my anger, greed, see, this negative blind person, I could appreciate them, you know, because I have these negative things like ignorance, anger, greed. I cannot kind of consider myself as a spiritual person or religious person. I'm humbled by these things. Sina said, I'm a foolish person, full of anger and greed. When Sina had that insight into himself, depth of his blind passion, he was deeply humbled. And I'm nothing but ordinary person, foolish person. See? So the Buddha's wisdom makes us appreciate negative things. See? Our blind passions never let us have the idea that I'm a holy person. See? But these people may have this kind of feeling. Oh, I'm getting more holier than those guys. See, I have more virtue than those guys. I'm getting wiser than them. See, it's spiritual arrogance. See, Shinran is totally opposite. See, that I think the Buddha's wisdom makes us appreciate something we've been hating. But I come to think of it. See, the fact that we have these blind passions, and we recognize it. See how deep our passions are. Then we could see all people share the same blind passion. I'm no different from them. See? No way I can look down on those people. We are all same human beings, foolish, ordinary. See, that kind of insight is given to us when we have deep insight into this blind passion. See, blind passions could be our teachers. See, it would never make us become arrogant, always humble us. See, so the things we hate could turn into something positive. They could become our teachers. See, that's the kind of transformation Shinran talks about. See, blind passions turn into virtues. If we receive Buddha's wisdom, he said. See, only the Buddha's wisdom can transform the meaning of the negative into positive. See? Then why do we have to run away from this so-called defiled self or defiled reality? See? Because this is the only place and we can, see, being married, being ordinary person, and have all kinds of conflict with people, or so many obstacles. But see, in the midst of this, with Buddha's wisdom, we can learn so many things from poverty, sickness, see, or even from our blind passions. See, every place, any time, any place could become our learning place if we have Buddha's wisdom. See, then it's I think a very abstract and idealist to think about some kind of wonderful place where we don't have blind person. Oh, that is a wonderful learning place. No, I don't think that's not wonderful learning. Actual reality in which we live in, people of all kinds of conflicts and frustration. But this is the most ideal place where we can hear the Dharma. This is the place where we can deeply examine ourselves. See? So the Buddhism tells us, beautiful lotus flower does not come out of the pure water. See? Beautiful lotus flower blossoms only in the midst of muddy water. See? Mud. This muddy reality, full of all kinds of negative things, blind passion. This is the very place where Buddha's wisdom can be learned. See? Beautiful lotus. Shinjin is compared to beautiful lotus. See? Beautiful flower, lotus flower. Shinjin could come out only out of mud. See? That's what this Shinjin is about. We have no need or no reason to run away from this. See? Buddha's wisdom can make our mud, blind passions, meaningful. See? Actually, the blind passion becomes the basis for the birth of our Shinjin. Shinjin does not come out of anywhere else. See? In the midst of samsara, we transcend samsara. See? This is the Shindan's teaching. That's why Shindan did not have any pretension to be a spiritual person or religious person. He lived his life just like ordinary person. See? No pretension as a monk, as a priest. See? Being married, have children, and living just like us. See? And he disowned his son when he was 83. See? He was so angry with his grandparents. See? He was full of anger. So he declared, he's no longer my son, is no longer my son. See? He's such tremendous anger. And he said he had anger and greed. None of his passions disappeared. But he learned from that passion. See? But his experience made him born in the sphere where he was no longer afraid of all the negatives people are usually afraid of. Okay? So anyway, I think I'm sure I went over well, I always go over the time, but see today, this is a big topic, and it requires several days to cover for things. But the core thing I want to talk about is the uniqueness of Jodo Shinshu. Okay? Many people confuse Jodo Shinshu with first two types of Buddhism, or particularly, many people confuse Shinshu with the third type of teaching. But please remember, okay, Amida Buddha or Nembutsu represent the Buddha's wisdom, and Shinran calls it inconceivable wisdom. See? Human wisdom cannot reach it. See? People try to attain Buddha's wisdom through human wisdom is like try to extend our bamboo stick and try to reach moon. It's impossible. Okay? You cannot reach it, no matter how much effort you make. It is, you must keep hearing and hearing. Then you think our teachers' words have power. They are the embodiment of Buddha's wisdom. And they, through this process of our being passive, hearing, gradually permeates us. That's the only way. We take initiative and try to understand. This confidence of being able to understand, that becomes our hindrance. See? We have to really have deep respect for our teachers. See? And passivity is very important. See? We say, I take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. But how much do you mean it? See? I take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. See? Many people take having this ego. Ego is taking refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha. See? We have to really mean when we say, I take refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha. Unless we really mean it, unless we really listen to them, Buddha Dharma Sangha, see? Kind of selfless way. Never Dharma, Buddha or Dharma reaches us. See? So it's very important that we have deep respect for the teacher. Teachers know better, best, okay? We know so little. See? Our human wisdom, whatever we learn so far academically, so limited. See? Our teacher, Shakyamuni Shinran, they went through so many difficulties, went through all these processes and came up with such a wonderful teaching. So we have to really have deep respect for them, see, and keep hearing what they say. And I believe their teachings are very universal implication. They lived in the ancient time to more than 2,000 years ago, or 700, 800 years ago. But if we listen to what they say, whatever they experience, whatever they say, has universal implication, universally direct connection with our life. Okay, that's all I wanted to say today. Okay, let's finish with that show. Naman David. Naman David. Naman David. Naman David. Okay, thank you for inviting me. Thank you very much.